Yes, once again I've managed not to start with a feedback loop. I am incredible at Twitch now, and the stream channel, the stream... Wait, what's the right word? The stream title? The stream title is correct. Except I didn't capitalise the S in RuneScape, but that's like a passive protest on my part. Right, what am I doing? I don't know, I'm playing RuneScape, I don't really know what to do. I was going to do a quest, but it's getting quite late, and I'm not sure I should start a long quest. What can I do? I could do Observatory Quest. I don't know, that doesn't sound very interesting. What can I've done Dig Site. What should I do? Have I done Rune? I have completed Rune Memories. Like, or not on this account, but I have done. I'm trying to find something I definitely haven't done. Have I done Big Chompy Bird Hunting? What's that? A medium. That sounds like it's going to be entertaining. I don't know what to do. Tail of the Muspar. Oh, Tail of the Muspar. I think. Did I do? So I definitely have played Tail of the Muspar, but like, it had a tremendous significance to me, and I can't remember why. Was that being developed when I joined? Let me check. What's the date? Had that just gone out? When's Tail of the Muspar by comparison to Dungeoneering? 2009? No, that's too early. But yeah, it was around the time I joined. Rod had just made it. I think that was Rod, wasn't it? That's the credits. Yeah, Rod. I don't remember why I would think it had such significance, though. Anyway, what am I doing? Let's do Observatory Quest. Because why not? I went off to try to do my Ardoin tasks, and half of them were just locked behind quests. So that was a bit annoying. I didn't enjoy that very much. When did I gain 3 million gold? What? Metrics is telling me I got 3 million gold. That must be since... That must be from Maze Caravan. The Quest Caravan. Is it called Maze Caravan? The Quest point shop. That must be that. Stream Archaeology. Is that Stream Archaeology? I mean, I could. I'm at what I would consider the point where archaeology starts to be a bit of a grind. Like around the time when you're doing Monoceros Remains is about where the grind kicks in. Like up to Monoceros Remains, it's like you're basically always doing something new, right? Like at the start of the Infernal Source, you start having like grinding out all of the what are they called, the Dagon crests. Like that's a bit of a grind, but you're motivated to do it because you've got a specific objective in mind to grind out those Dagon crests. And it sucks when you get the wrong one, right? But that's the fun of drop tables. But then, yeah, I would say around Monoceros Remains is where the skill really starts to slow down. Wait, what am I doing? I was going to do Observatory Quest. Should we see if we can speedrun Observatory Quest? Yes. I haven't speedrun any quests yet. What I'll do is I'll spacebar through it while saying blah 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 blah. But there's a game, isn't there, where when you skip dialogue he says blah. Is it Fallout 4? I think it's Fallout 4. Oh no, there's a maze. In Fallout 4, if you skip dialogue, your character says blah blah. Like every time you skip, he says blah, which is a really good feature. Like Fallout 4's dialogue is terrible and everything about it, role-playing wise and character-wise and dialogue-wise, is bad. But that is an incredible feature. Oh, I should have gone to the one, shouldn't I? If nothing else, this is teaching me the layout of all the waypoints. Because we don't use lodestones in dev, right? We don't need to. Isn't there a game where the NPC's insulted because you're not listening? I don't remember. Is this going to be a nightmare? Should I not do this quest? Or is this going to be an experience I need to have on stream? I don't think I've completed it. I don't think I've ever done Observatory Quest. Is this the one with the random Zamorak reference in, isn't it? Like, isn't there like a legend of some Zamorakian or something? I think I read it. Like, I know, like, because when I need to do research, I don't usually go and play the quest. I go and read the transcript in full. So I know the lore of some of these early quests. Not encyclopedically, right? But I'm kind of aware of them and the significance of them. But then I don't actually know the gameplay because I haven't actually played through all the quests. Scorpius, yeah. Oh my god, let's go! bizarre. It is bizarre because it in no way resembles the solar system that we're in. Our planet's even round in this saying? Who knows? Oh, actually we do know now because we've shown it in the cutscenes, but you get what I mean. I'm guessing it starts with you, but I could be wrong. Talk about Observatory Quest. I'm totally lost. Head northeast. What? I do love having to, like, pick a random dialogue option in order to even get to the quest. I'll inquire about your observatory instead. Oh, I didn't bring the required items, actually, no. Well, I'm not far from Vino, am I? So that's fine. Goblins. You know my philosophy on dialogue boxes, right? That each dialogue box should only have a single sentence in it. And did you see, like, I was reading everything and I was clicking through at a nice steady pace, and I got to a dialogue box that had 3 lines of dialogue in it, and I had to stop and carefully read it. Right, what do I need? Oh, that's why I didn't. I was going to do this yesterday, and then I was like, oh. Fine. Should I just go back and get the stuff now? Yep, I guess apparently I should. Planks can be found at Port Khazard. What? Does he just mean, are there just some on the floor or something? Oops, that's the wrong button. Where's the closest bank? Probably in now. Yeah, I'm clicking, I'm not spacebarring. Come on, I'm not a savage. Like, what? I'm not an uncultured swine. Spacebarring through dialogue. This is instructions here to pick up planks. Alright, okay. Do you, like, farm them off Khazard troops or something? I'll just get some out of my bank, I think. That's probably the best thing. Are they just lying around respawning on the ground? That's got to be faster than going to the sawmill. What have I got? Plank. 3 planks. What else was it? A bronze bar? Or something else? Hang on. I've closed the window now. Observatory Quest. To what extent is it okay that I have to play with the wiki open? Like, some people would argue that it's just totally unacceptable. I think I have some molten glass. Yes, there we go. Some people would argue that it's totally unacceptable. I feel like that is not necessarily the case. Oh, am I not going to be able to withdraw a bronze bar from here? Yes, I can. Right, do I actually only need 1 bronze bar for this quest, or is it like last time where I need a bronze bar and then I lose my bronze bar for some reason? Like, I think people make up rules about game design and game development, right? Like, oh, it's good game design if you can play it without a guide, and it's bad game design if you need a guide. Or something like that, right? And that's just like kind of a made-up rule. Like, I can see the logic behind it, and there's a certain type of game where you're like if I had to reach for a guide every time I played Guitar Hero, it wouldn't make any sense, right? It would be wildly unimmersive, and unimmersive is the wrong way of playing it. You know, it would totally throw off the flow of playing the game, right? If I had to look for a guide all the time playing Guitar Hero. Unlike some sort of fast-paced action game, you know, like Doom 2016, I don't want to be looking for a guide while I'm playing that. But you know, if you take that kind of attitude, then you just rule out huge swathes of types of game, like hard puzzle games. Almost by definition, if the puzzles are challenging enough to challenge people that like puzzles, they're going to be borderline impossible for anyone who's not specifically a fan of puzzle games. So if anybody else wants to, maybe they enjoy 80% of the puzzles in the game, but there's one that they just can't do, and then you need a guide, right? Like, and that's okay. Like, the existence of guides allows for the existence of harder challenges, I would say. Right? Do I need to talk to him with the planks? I really don't like this talk about X, talk about Y format, but I cannot find a better way of doing it. It feels wrong, but at the same time, I think it's really good that NPCs get reused for multiple purposes. Like, I think it's a strength of RuneScape that rather than like 6 identical NPCs standing nearby, you go talk to like Ned about like 7 different things. That's great. And the fact that he's also like the touchstone NPC for his area clues, isn't it? He's like an area tasks guy. Like the fact that the area task NPCs are existing NPCs rather than new, slightly contrived NPCs that have been plonked down solely for that purpose. Like there's a few people in Lumbridge, like the Doomsayer or the emissaries, the Herald Cape merchants, right? And from a game design point of view, from like a structural, technical game design point of view, it's far safer and cleaner to have them be separate NPCs. But they do feel a bit plonked in, right? They don't feel like an organic part of the place. Whereas taking an existing NPC and having them do it feels so much more organic. But because it wasn't unplanned, they end up with this higgledy-piggledy pile of dialogue on them, which is difficult. I don't see an obvious solution to that. Because, like, it's good and it's bad. Yeah, Certifi's the worst. Like, ultimately, like, it's not very immersive to click, like, ask about treasure trails. But it's clear, it gets the job done. You understand, like, it also, you could argue it has a tutorial element, because in the middle of doing this quest, I now understand that this NPC has something to do with treasure trails. It reminds me about what treasure trails are. It's interesting, or like, you know, I can imagine, I didn't actually do it, but thinking about it, if I'd clicked on some, you know, when I had to go see Ned to get rope for the quest, was it rope? I can't remember, whatever, I had to go receive Ned for something. I could also have asked him about area tasks and got distracted by that and enjoyed doing that content, and that would have been cool. So you could argue that it's like a positive that you can sort of get distracted. Yeah, this isn't okay. Like, I don't mind the NPC asking me to bring random things. Like, as a design feature, I quite like it. I'm not averse to the concept of like, just bring me a load of stuff. Like, I think we developed a design principle over time that because players would just read a guide and bring it all with them, or just buy it off the GE, we wouldn't just ask for normal items that are part of the game. And I think it's a shame to an extent, although I get where people are coming from in the context of it being such a like guide-driven game. It's not particularly interesting to arrive at the quest NPC and have him say, okay, now go back to your bank and bring me 17 wood planks. But at the same time, I think like there's a legitimate like form of design there in terms of like, well, we want to, you know, like we want to sink, I don't know, onyxes or something. So like the start of the quest just requires 50 onyxes in a sort of weird tax to do the quest sort of way, you know? Like I could imagine some sort of extremely high level, intentionally inaccessible quest just having a weird tax on it. Although you could argue that maybe it would make sense to complete the quest and then trade 50 onyxes for the reward at the end instead. Maybe that would work better, I don't know. But anyway, like, you get my point. Like, I think it's fun to require little items, but asking me to bring them one by one is just... What are you doing? Why are you doing? Why are you doing this? Just want me to be angry. Accusatory dialogue for players who already have the items. Yeah, that's some of the funnest dialogue you get to write, right? Because you get to write like, in fact, I thought of that. Or yeah, it's just this fun dialogue because it's kind of inherently fourth wall breaking. Because a player who's shown up with the exact items in their bank is almost by definition either reading a guide or like it's kind of a lore player who's like, oh, I'm going to bring this along and see if it has any special dialogue or whatever. So you just kind of get to lean into the fourth wall breaking. I don't know, these guys have a dynamic, but their dynamic is hateful. This is reminding me a little bit of the pre-edit Evil Dave, where the characters are just nasty to each other. Who wrote this one? Mod James. I don't think I've ever met Mod James. Yes, I watched someone streaming Ratcatchers. I can't remember. I have never actually played Ratcatchers myself, but I did watch several people streaming it and comment on it. Okay. Once again, I haven't brought any food. There's a law book in the house. Oh, what's this person doing? Is he called Eric? There's more drunk characters. Is that? I think of the early quests I've completed, something around 75% have been about alcohol or involved alcohol very heavily, or been about drunken characters. Well, so funnily enough, when I first started, when I logged in, like to play, so before I got the job when I was playing RuneScape, because you know when you apply for a game design job, you play the game. Someone just walked up to me in Lumbridge and gave me a load of stuff. I can't remember what they gave me. It can't have been that much by modern standards, but just a pile of stuff. Like, hi, welcome to the game. Have some stuff to get you started. And I was like, oh, what a friendly community. Oh, he's using it to light a fire. That's good. That's good. That's charming. The man was wrong. The goblins are very clever. Although he'd be better off holding it still. Oh wait, he's stolen the lens, but I'm after the mold, aren't I? I'm getting confused. There's one fishing by the water. Oh, down there. What's that? Oh, super anti-poison. Oh my god. I don't have one of those. The hitbox has been fixed now, hasn't it? Best time to kill desert lizards is when there's a hitbox bug. It's not the cutest interaction ever. Low-level players beware. Horde of goblins. That goblin is level 2! Ah, you dropped some money. 5 coins. They're saying something tremendously interesting. Alright. Yeah, I've got a plan to fix it. Right, so what am I doing? Just wandering around in here looking for random things. Is that the plan? Should I depoison myself? At the moment, for some reason, I have higher than maximum hit points. Wait, why do I have higher than maximum hit points? Well, the poison's clearing up that problem. Ah, that looks like a lens mold to me. Oh, bonfire bonus, yeah, probably. Wait, I haven't used a bonfire for quite a while. I did the beach all afternoon, like AFKing in the beach. Okay, that's definitely what I want. So where am I going to get a key from? Yes, I love bones. The max health doesn't wear off when the effect does. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's drink the super anti-potion. I keep saying anti-potion for some reason. I'm assuming the key isn't just a random drop off a goblin, but is just in some random place in this maze. Oh, it's hot in here. God damn it. I've got the tumble dryer on and I can't put the fan on because I'm streaming. It's really annoying. Ah, sucks to be you. I dropped a poison potion. I think that's solid, right? Like the fact that there's, I don't know if that's an intentional part of this quest or something someone randomly added later, but the fact that there was a random anti-poison potion outside that's quite useful rewarded me for exploring. And I feel like modern quests tend not to do that kind of thing. Is that fair? We don't just put random objects down on the floor anymore. I guess in part because on launch day they'd never be there, so it wouldn't really be part of the quest. And if it was a guaranteed part of the quest, yeah, I guess we could do that more. Yeah, I noticed it gave me 6 minutes immunity. Yeah, which is really relevant for this part, which is nice. Like, yeah, I think that's good. I don't think this maze is good, but I think I think the choice to include the super anti-poison is good. I feel rewarded. Yeah, it's Dark Soulsy, right? Like it's got that feeling of like, you know, I understood the mechanics and I paid attention and I made a very simple choice and I was rewarded for it. That's the sort of the ethos behind a lot of Dark Souls interactions. Just a basic, really basic comprehension of what's going on. I watched Belly. I was saying to you guys there was a good someone else linked it, didn't they? And I approved of it. There's a good recent oh, what's the guy's name? Sorry, my brain is blank tonight. Josh Drive Hayes video. Bellier referenced it today as well, talking about he's there. So apparently Blizzard have well, they said they were going to remove like, so WoW has mods. Hey, kitchen key. Do I need to explore the rest of this dungeon? Oh, I'm actually at the end of it. I see. Weird. WoW's culture goes way beyond spacebarring into they more or less have. I guess it's like Alt 1 for quests. Basically, they have quest guides that just allow you to ignore everything and just walk through everything to tell you what's going on. In Classic, you had to stay in combat for a set number of turns before you could move, so these big tunnels of enemies were much bigger barriers, probably. Yeah, that makes sense. I made stuff like this in... oh yeah, I need to stream my Neverwinter Nights module sometime, don't I? So actually no, I do have a story about this. So in my Neverwinter Nights module, there's an area reminiscent of this. It's a catacomb full of undead, and the whole idea of the scenario is that you run past them, because they spawn infinitely and you need to run past them to get to your objective. But what I found in practice with playtesting is that actually you were extremely unlikely to get hurt, especially if you had the feat that made you immune to attacks of opportunity or gave bonus armor. Like there's a level 1 feat you can take in D&D that just gives you, in 3rd edition D&D, that just gives you +4 armor against attacks of opportunity. So it's extremely unlikely they're ever going to hit you ever. Like they basically needed to roll a 20 to do like 1d4 damage or something. If you open the gate, the guard will hear you. What? What? Why? Why do I need to... The logic... What? Why do I need to wake him up and kill him so that he won't hear me opening the gate? What? Fine. Fine. It's fine. So what I added was... So I like random zombies spawn, like lots of different types of random zombie, and it's like flavorful. But then I added a specific type that... I added a specific type that has one charge of level 1 magic missile, so it just shoots like one magic missile at you, and it just chips away at your health as you're exploring. Like these guys spawn in and occasionally zap you, and it just chips away at your health as you're exploring and makes you feel like you're pressured and that the area is dangerous in a way that it just kind of isn't in the same sense of this. Ah, a hammer. That sounds like something I would need for the quest if I didn't have a tool belt. I'm not really happy about where the tool belts ended up, but I can't. Again, I don't see a better alternative really, because originally when we implemented the tool belt, it was a key component of that you add the tools to the tool belt yourself. Like when we introduced the tool belt, it was like the keyring. It doesn't come with anything. It was just a place to keep your tools. And that, to me, like, I mean, you see my philosophy on like building your own ore box or making your own mining pick, right? And like it was a key aspect of the tool belt to me that you do that. There's nothing in that one. But then I don't remember if it ever went live. It was during development of the OMGE, so I definitely did playtest this, but I can't remember if it was live or not. That you basically, the first stage of each crafting task was get a chisel from the crafting tutor, add it to your tool belt, now do the crafting tasks. Did that actually go live? Right, cool, yeah. So that was the version I was used to for a while. And then there was a sort of sustained, like, because I remember I explained in the last stream, like, or as I've said before in this tutorial thing, like, the OMGE became bloated and complex because it was never originally intended to be an all skills tutorial, and then it was required of us that we build it for every single skill for some reason. So you had to burn your way through, like, was it 26 skills at the time? However many. You had to like grind your way through all 26 skills before you finished the tutorial, and so at that point we then had to, as a result of that, we then had to cut down every single. We then had to cut down every single element of every single one of those tasks to get them as quick as possible. So at that point, you were like, well, what can we cut out? Okay, well, why don't we add all the tools to the tool belt automatically? And now I feel like it has kind of lost a little bit, you know? Like, because now those tools might as well not exist, basically. They don't mean anything. When I click on a log and it says knife, I'm like, what knife? What? What are you talking about? It only makes sense if you understand that RuneScape used to be about using a knife on a log. But I don't see an obvious better solution. I guess if we went back and revised everything again, then we could not force crafting into the first 15 minutes of the game and allow you to because I think the current, I'm really impressed with the work. I'm assuming it was Stu. I don't actually know if it was Stu. The current path system inside Berthorpe I think is really good. I think it's a really good balance of like, do you want to do this? If you do, I will guide you on how to do it. Like, would you like to make a bow and some arrows and some armor, and then kill some stuff, and then like, and I think in that fairly informal context of like, hey, you want to do ranged? If you want, you can do ranged. You do crafting if you want. Do some fletching, maybe. In that context, I feel like asking you to collect the tools yourself makes sense. So maybe we should go back and revisit that. It's obviously not a high priority thing, like, but it feels like it would fit a bit more naturally into that context. Oh, I like the capitalized crafting in that sentence. I mean, I think the tiered hatchet
pick, etc., you could argue whether or not you should or shouldn't start with the bronze pick. The fact that you can upgrade to an iron pick and you can add that iron pick to the tool belt gives the tool belt meaning in mining and woodcutting that it doesn't have in crafting and fletching, which is nice. I think I wonder about this sometimes. Like my instinct would be to tier everything or almost everything. Like I would tier bowstrings, I would tier flax, I would tier. I don't know if I would tier tinderboxes or not. Oh, no, sorry, it's not but you would tier tinderboxes, right? Because you want a better tinderbox is better at fire making, right? Like it's not a restriction; it's a bonus. It's insane to me that so say we re-tier fletching, right? And then we add so there's currently 6 tiers of wood, I think. If we up that to 9 tiers of wood, right? We up that to 9 tiers of wood, so now I'm fletching like level 90 bows with my level 90 fletching, and I still have to pick flax for the bowstrings and craft the bowstrings. What? Like it's crazy. Why would a high level bow be made of some within the logic of the fantasy setting where using magical wood makes for a better bow, right? Because that's just the logic on MMO crafting, right? Why would I still be using the same kind of string? That's just weird. Why there's got to be some kind of way better kind of string that we can get, like spider string or like ancient saliva string or whatever. Araxite spider strings, I don't know. Alright, let's go, let's go. Is the lens finished? Oh, what? Use the molten glass on the mold. Power burst file? No. What? Nice. What's the benefit to requiring a tier 90 fletching knife dev-wise? I mean, like design-wise, like it's not so much requiring a tier 90 fletching knife as allowing a tier 90 fletching knife. Think of it as like an upgrade to your fletching, your tool. So now the mining and smithing rework, the way I implemented them, the picks feel like requirements because I implemented them. Because if you think about the way that hatchets work, pickaxes work like hatchets. The way hatchets work is they just get linearly better for every purpose. So like hatchets just get better and better and better and better and better. Which is a balancing nightmare because it means that a really high level hatchet collects low level wood staggeringly fast. And the way I implemented it in mining, where the higher tier mining picks are better, but part of what they're better at is penetration, which allows you to mine high level ore, which means that some of the bonus is offset. Sorry, some of the bonus of using an Elder Rune pickaxe doesn't apply to bronze, so to copper, because copper doesn't have any hardness. So the huge penetration value on the Elder pick doesn't work on bronze. So it's not as much better on bronze as it would be if all of the bonus was in additional damage. Does that make sense? But in principle, a higher level pick is a bonus, not a requirement. And so like people are asking for higher tier hatchets, right? Like right now, people are like, there should be higher tiers of hatchet. It comes up quite a lot. I don't know if it's just the same guy posting to Reddit, but I've seen that comment several times of like wanting more hatchets, and that's like, I want to upgrade my hatchet. So in that regard, like more tools is just more unlocks. It's cool, right? Like it's cool to upgrade stuff and get bonuses and put them on my thing. You could argue that like skipping straight to tier 90 fletching knife is like, well, it hasn't actually added very much. Like you'd want to look at the fletching mechanics and see if it was actually doing anything really. It could, imagine if the tiers of fletching knife were implemented in a very simple way, where they were like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, etc. bonus XP. That's not required really, but like, why not? Like why not implement that? It's fun, it's cool, it's an upgrade. It costs us very little to do. Like, so I wouldn't just do it, but if we were doing a fletching change anyway, why not implement upgraded knives? Sure. Have to go via the dungeon. What? What? There weren't any. What? Where do I have to go via the dungeon? Where did he go? What? Wait, did someone say there's a lore book in here? Glass blowing book. That doesn't sound like a lore book. Ultimate guide to glass blowing. Oh, is this when glass blowing was added? That's cute. The Tale of Scorpius. I actually read that fairly recently. On the wiki. Yeah, like crystal tools. Yeah, crystal tools are an example of using the potential reward space there. In doesn't, you know, in theory it could also be. Is this? I mean, there wasn't a way. What? Did I miss it while I was down here or something? What is he talking about? I didn't notice a way up anywhere. Did I just miss it? I don't see any. There was another staircase. I don't see one on the map. Oh, there. Yeah. Scorpius is a dig site manager for Foreign 3. No, Scorpius is not a dig site manager for Foreign 3. But good try. I mean, I guess it's worth saying that like crystal tools are allowed to exist in absence of anything else. Like they don't. Like I think it was fun to put all the new pickaxes in mining and smithing, but really they're only there for like new players, really, right? Like I mean, I guess like people who aren't being super efficient could just slam an Elder Rune pickaxe onto their tool belt and just get on with their life. Obviously, you can't do invention with it. Well, you can't, can you? You can't augment Elder Rune, I think. But like, so in that regard, like you know, the from the point of view of an end game player, the smithable pickaxes have about as much utility as the smithable armor, which is to say they don't really matter at all. But you know, for early and mid game players, that you know, upgrading your tools is a legitimate part of the game. And I feel like also, you know, I watch quite a lot of old school streamers trying RS3 because it's really interesting to see. And like, I think that loop of upgrading your pickaxe and like smithing a new pickaxe and then upgrading it is all can't believe how much better this is than a 2D cutscene. Yeah, exactly, right? It's really satisfying to like, you know, and you can be like, I don't even want to bother upgrading it, or you can be like, yeah, I'm going to upgrade my pickaxe, it's going to be awesome. This is certainly a cutscene. What am I doing now? I hope. This is among my top 500 cutscenes in the game. I've been noticing that actually watching YouTubers. This is a really funny thing they do, where they start out really strong in a sentence, and they go like, guys, this is absolutely one of, arguably, the most powerful weapons in the game. Like, what are you saying? Like Fractured Staff of Armadyl, right? So it's like Fractured Staff of Armadyl is among the most powerful weapons in the game. Yeah, yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah, I suppose. Am I going to see an alien? Maybe another way to get dragon pixels through mining and smithing. Yeah, I mean, so stuff like that is a bit of a compromise. With mining and smithing, we were very worried because it was hugely intrusive, and because of EOC, we were very, very nervous about disturbing the economy. The point of the update was to improve mining and smithing. It wasn't to shake up the value of in-game items. So we didn't want to change the value of dragon pickaxes or, you know, change the relative value of boss drop tables or any of that. So a lot of what we did was kind of very paranoid in terms of trying to exactly preserve the value of things without making anything that was existing redundant. I think in practice we were probably over nervous. Like, the update was received far more positively than we expected it to be. What am I looking at here? That is certainly a star sign. Those are quite nice. I assume they've been remade. It was that one, wasn't it? I think, Taurus. Yeah, I'm intrigued by this kind of stuff because you get these little like strange inclusions of like real world lore, and they kind of intrigue me. I think my instinct is to be critical of it, but what was that? By Cerendoman's earlobes. Look in your backpack for your reward. What? Perhaps in the future you can help me fix the bridge. I'm guessing that doesn't ever happen. Am I being too cynical? Payment depending on which constellation you observe. Oh yeah, crafting XP. Oh, an uncut sapphire. I'm just going to cut it right now. Yeah, watch me go. A strength potion. This is amazing. Did I read the astronomy book? That one. I didn't read it out because I read it on the wiki like 3 months ago or something. Did the post-quest Scorpius thing. Is that near, there's like, is that at the Urania altar? Is that up here? What do you have to do? Check out me knowing what the Urania altar is. This is, I'm assuming, isn't there like a Scorpius around here somewhere or something? Yeah, hello. Is this what I need to do? Hey, buddy. Yeah, he's cool. Like, is that the original model? I think within the context of RuneScape's original aesthetic, I think he looks pretty good. Is that a 2008 one? Oh, okay, alright. Maybe not then. It's a powerful spirit. Seems capable of speaking. Oh, that's good that it explained a piece of lore that I don't know anything about because I don't know what. Oh wait, no, I think I have done. What's it called? What's the Ghost Speak Amulet quest called? It's probably called Ghost Slayer, isn't it? That's my brain. But anyway, I have done that on this account, so I guess I do know what an amulet of Ghost Speak is. Maybe they did check that. I seek your wisdom. Restless Ghost, that's it. Should have been called Ghost Slayer. No, because you don't slay the ghost, do you? You slay a lich. Is it a lich? Is he a lich? I can't remember. He's like a skeleton necromancer, isn't he? Which is basically a lich. Should be called Lich Slayer. Skeleton mage. Yeah, well, I mean, a skeleton mage is basically a lich, right? Like, I mean, like, the difference between them is very subtle. Go down the ladder northwest of you. Well, for the Urania altar. Yeah, I did that. I did my Ardoin tasks earlier. My lord instructs me to help you. I see you have a mould for the unholy symbol of our lord. What? what do you want me to do? I can make an unholy symbol. Sure. Can I also destroy him? He can bless unholy symbols. Right. Oh. That sounds like something I definitely want. Is that it? Should I do another quest? What else we got? Watchtower. Can I do that? It's really interesting. So this is what I'm interested in playing these all in order. Is you can really see the world expanding. Like, I'm surprised by how many of these extremely early quests take place in Kandarin. It's really interesting. I wasn't expecting that because I hadn't ever sorted it in release order before. So I guess this was like when they started to bring on other developers, and those developers were like, I guess we'll just put stuff in Kandarin. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Paul specifically reserved Lumbridge or if they just wanted. Oh, sorry, Misthin, or if they just wanted to do their own thing. But it's strange that, like, yeah, Watchtower is chunky. Oh, it's long. Yeah, okay, maybe not then. Dwarf Cannon? I started Dwarf Cannon. Is that... Yeah, let's go finish Dwarf Cannon. Check on the Watchtower south of the camp. Where is that? That was near Sears Village, wasn't it? Is that right? Or was it near Catherby? I think it's near Catherby. I don't think they didn't want to put any new content in the free-to-play area. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And so Kandarin was like the members area. I'm getting lost. Where is that guy? That guy lives near Camelot, doesn't he? Or am I getting confused? I started Dwarf Cannon and now I can't remember where I started it. Where did I start Dwarf Cannon? At the coal trucks. Oh, here. Yes, it was that guy. And he wants me to go to the Watchtower, which is what, there, presumably? So, from Ardoin. Let's go. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? I became a member because I saw so much content on the map beyond where I can go. Yeah, and that was the whole business strategy at the time, right? It was like, everyone plays the free game, try to tempt people into the members game, and then, yeah, it's fascinating, really, in retrospect. That's basically not a flow that really happens anymore. Like, it's interesting because a lot of players, I think, give business advice to us. Like, well-intentioned business advice on the assumption of, like, you need to do more to, like, entice people into the free game. You need to do more to entice people into the members game from the free game, and that just isn't the account flow. It was the account flow, like, 15 years ago, but it's just not the account flow anymore. Oh god, bloody multi-cannon. I mean, the multi-cannon is absolutely iconically RuneScape, right? Wait, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? Is it here? I'm assuming it's here that I'm going. But the multi-cannon is a nightmare. Like, from just a combat balancing point of view, like, it's such an insane concept. It's northeast. Is it? What? I thought you said to the south. Did he not? Oh, I pressed a random button. Check up on his guards at the watchtower to the south of his camp. Is this not the watchtower to the south of the camp? It's only a little bit south of the camp. Oh, there. This free-to-play's dev cost outweighed by what's left of the free-to-play pay-to-play flow. Free-to-play content isn't intrinsically hard to make. It's not really any different to making any other kind of content. Like, it doesn't. We just have to put it in the free-to-play area. We do occasionally forget, because most of the content that we make is members content. Ah, is that a watchtower? Right, okay, so when he said to the south, he literally meant, like... Honestly, I feel like the word south is hyperbolic. He meant literally you're standing next to it, like that tower that you are already at the foot of. Could you please climb? Because I want to know what's at the top of it. Can you not just shout? Like, hey. Meanwhile, I'm just in a different country. Like I've walked to a different kingdom entirely. Probably. I haven't checked where the border is. Where is the border? No, this is all Kandarin, but this is like, if we take scale theory into account, I just went on a journey of like 2,000 miles and then came back again. Wow, I haven't checked on him for a while. I can't remember the dialogue actually because I started it a while ago. He's just rotted away entirely to bones. Oh, this quest is great. Oh, there was an annoying bit where I had to hammer the railing, so at the start that was annoying. I think this guy though, he's great. I asked this before, didn't I? But like, is he too like? So I mean, it's not controversial. I don't really like the look of the old RuneScape dwarves. I know old school players would probably find them iconic, and like they love to meme that kind of stuff, and that's fair. Like, it's cool. I worry that some stuff of this era can look a little derivative of Warhammer or Warcraft or other, like, I don't want to say generic fantasy, it's not quite fair, but like that's a very, generic's too mean, but that's a very stereotypical looking dwarf, right? But I feel like our dwarves have a bit of personality because of, like, John wrote some personality into the dwarven culture in RuneScape in a way that, like, I don't know, I feel like, obviously, I mean, I can't criticize Tolkien-esque dwarf culture because it's the original, right? But like Warhammer dwarves and D&D dwarves and Warcraft dwarves are all basically exactly the same, and our dwarves are a little bit different from that, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. My feeling I'm always torn on this because, like, when you're making generic fantasy, you want it to look recognizably generic fantasy enough for people to get into it. If it's totally unique, like Dark Sun or something like that, then people can't engage with it as fantasy. It has to be fantasy enough for people to enjoy it and see the tropes they recognize. But at the same time, I do feel like we should try to have a unique spin on things. We should try to do things for ourselves rather than just copy the standard, which I don't know, I can't help feeling that these dwarves are a little bit like, I don't know, am I looking too much at this? Like, I feel like our elves are very stereotypically elven, but there's a bit more uniqueness to them. They're not exactly like Warcraft elves or Warhammer elves or blah blah blah. Dwarven update was received positively. Never seen anyone dislike them. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like, they're obviously a massive improvement. There's a TV tropes thing about this, which is like every fantasy setting puts a unique spin on its elves, a unique spin on its trolls, a unique spin on its vampires, a unique spin on its demons. But every fantasy setting's dwarves are absolutely identical. Have you been to the Watchtower? Mate, why don't you go to the Watchtower? Wait, are there actually goblins, like, patrolling around outside? No, there's a dwarf right outside. Oh no, okay, there are goblins there. These dwarves are very worried about goblins. I guess that's what happens when they protect their little fort with railings rather than something that's actually like a defensive. Like, these railings are definitely keep the local hoodlums out, but they're not going to do much against a sustained assault. No, I didn't find another ancient decayed body that's obviously been dead for years. They always attack from the southeast. They must be based down there. Okay, so I'm guessing that, like, the goblin lair is like about 4 tiles away in this direction. So have I found it yet? Is it here? Is it under this tree? Is this the goblin lair? Here we go, I found it. This is the goblin move. No. I've come as far southeast as I'm willing to go. There's nothing here. What am I doing wrong? There's a lot more goblins in that direction. Do I actually have to go further this time? Was the fishing... I guess the fishing guild would have been a lot smaller at the time? But there isn't anywhere to the southeast. Like, southeast... There isn't anywhere... Did you mean here? Here? No, that's the sheep herder thing, right? So when I get beyond that line, I'm now in Ardoyne. Like, literally inside Ardoyne. Because this is like the sheep field of Ardoyne. Zoom in a bit. There? I don't see anywhere obvious to go. Somewhere between the fishing guild and sheep herder, so just like here. Is that what are those warrior women? Are these from a quest, or are they just standing there? It's weird the things you notice. I'd literally never noticed them before. When you're searching furiously for a goblin hideout, there's just like... There's a civilized sheep. There's literally people sitting on a bench. It's nice. This is a nice, calm, civilized area, right? Clearly, the reign of Saradomin has brought peace to these lands. But somewhere, literally within line of sight of this bench, is a goblin lair. East of the fishing guild. Ah, there's a way down there somewhere. So the goblins are attacking the dwarves. So to get to the dwarves, so they're attacking a multi-cannon defended dwarven outpost, which is on the other side of... Which is on the other side of an undefended fishing... I guess the fishing guild, to be fair, the fishing guild does have a superior defensive fortification around it. Is this where I'm going? It does have goblins outside it. Yeah, maybe it should be in the goblin-infested woods. I have no idea whether I'm in the right dungeon. But it's got a goblin in it, so I'm guessing I am in the right dungeon. Yes, grapes. John A. did give this area some lore. Did he write some lore to explain why they're scared of the fishing guild? Wait, hang on. I don't remember. Did the fishing guild change in size with deep sea fishing? No, it didn't, did it? I'm guessing that the quest takes place down here. That's my guess. Oh. Well. Apparently not. I don't remember what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the remains of a different dwarf, right? I could search every single crate in this massive room. That doesn't seem likely. I don't even know if I'm in the right place. None of you have screamed at me that I'm in the wrong place, so I'm guessing I'm in the right place. Ah! No! What? That's what the last remains look like. Right, let's just look it up. Dwarf Cannon. As the goblins... So, okay, he's in one of the crates. For God's sake. I did do General Shadow. Did I... what? Search the northeastern crate against the wall. Oh. What? Yeah, he's great. That's solid lore that dwarven children the rebels. It's an example of what people mean that quest should be solved without a guide. Yes, I mean, yes, absolutely. Like, where you're given absolutely zero information in game, and the possible exploratory space is enormous because I had to walk past 2 major hubs to get here. Yes, that's pushing what's reasonable without a guide. Yes, we definitely should implement Battle of the Monolith into this. That would make it even better. Wait. Yes. I am indeed famous for my ability to repair dwarven technology. What was the skill requirement for this quest? None. Right, okay, sure. I guess that qualifies me as an expert on dwarven technology. What? I didn't... I can't identify where the hotspots are. Was this added later? Or was this part of the original thing? Oh, I see. Oh, hello. The quest was reworked in 2006. So yeah, they probably added this. This doesn't look like a 2003 thing. Use the pliers on the safety switch at the bottom. Is that this? Yeah. Use the tooth tool on the gear on the bottom of the hammer. I tried to do that before. Oh, but you have to do them in the correct order as well. Okay. Yeah. I didn't like that because it wasn't obvious what was interactable. So I was just sort of clicking on random places on the thing, and I got no feedback at all that I had or hadn't done it correctly, so I had no real idea. I've underestimated you. You didn't underestimate me. You asked me to do it, and you gave me the tools to do it. You were like, why don't you try and fix the cannon? And I said, sure. And he said, here's the tools. That's like the opposite of underestimating me. He estimated me. I guess that's not the opposite. He didn't overestimate me. The negation? It's the negation of underestimating me. Yeah, exactly. He very much estimated me. Oh, there's a whole linguistic tangent, right? Is the opposite of something the negation of it? Like the opposite of dressed is undressed, right? But where there's an over and an under, then you have a three-part. Yeah, that is not a helpful tangent, is it? No, figure out what this thing uses as ammo. I'm guessing that it's cannonballs, mate. I'm just guessing that this cannon probably fires cannonballs. What do you think? Do you think it's cannonballs? I think it's probably cannonballs. I was thinking about, you know, the persistent problem that's been in since mining and smithing, that bulk creation of objects is a bit slow now because the XP has to be balanced. And I was wondering if we should rebalance it so that you basically just don't get any XP, but they make incredibly quickly, because like no one's making like cannonballs for XP anymore, right? It used to be a thing, but it's not a thing anymore. So they might, you know, because we could speed it up massively if we didn't give as much XP to make like nails and cannonballs and bronze arrows and, you know, arrowheads and stuff. That feels like a change we should probably make. Go to the Blackguard base and find out what it shoots. Sure. Where's that? Is it vaguely to the southeast? South of Ice Mountain. Okay, that's about 75% of the world. Could you be more specific? I think I've been there, actually. Where was I? South of Ice Mountain. Oh, yeah, is it the bit above the Dwarf Mine? Yeah. Did this quest without teleports. Fun walking back to Osgania. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I get. Yeah. That's the old school experience still. Oh no, you mean you didn't even have like magic teleports? Yeah. Yeah. Tromping around the place. It's not the same without VR. That dialogue's a bit weird now. Keldagrim is a thing. Is this the I'm assuming this is the Blackguard base because it's got Blackguard in it. Am I talking to the right person here? I'm looking for what? Nolodion? There's a cannon. Oh, there's a smithy. Am I in the wrong place? OS's release day where everyone was doing waterfall quests was great. Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Oh, that's what it's called, the climate change quest. Oh, there he is. Hello, Nolodion. Just cut those logs down so I could find you more easily, because you are very small and you blend into the trees like an elf. I guess you do use them all to make cannonballs, don't you? I guess logically, like. Where am I going? Back to Ardoin. Yeah. Runescape without lodestones is a blast. Yeah, you hate everything convenient. I get it, it's fair enough, but... Oh, and that's why I was making fun of Elden Ring, because Elden Ring's like, you can just teleport to anywhere at any time, and this is supposed to be some sort of hardcore game. What? Like, occasionally you have to walk out of a cave, but there's always a shortcut, so it's fine. It depends on the game, right? Like... I mean, RuneScape's interesting because of efficiency, right? But like in, It's interesting to me. I felt it's interesting that Skyrim chose to keep the transport mechanics, like you can take carts to places. Although I guess you take the carts to places in order to unlock teleport points for them, don't you? So it doesn't really count. But I walked around, like playing in VR, I walked around Skyrim quite a lot, like actually walked. And that was good exercise. I think that's a good compromise. Like force you to walk places in real life, and then it's good exercise as well. Elden Ring is the Kirby of Dark Souls games, yeah. The dwarves are struggling with the goblins because they don't know how to use the cannon. Yeah, it's an odd. The structural setup is a bit odd. So it sounds like, did John revise this quest a bit? Because it sounds like... Oh no, I guess he added more content to the same area, right? But like, yeah, it's just a bit... I can understand that the soldiers don't know how to use the cannon. That's a reasonable plot. Like, it's fine. They're like, well, they shot us this technology, but they didn't tell us to use it. But the fact that I know how to use it, or repair it, or the fact that I can figure out how to fix their cannon, but not figure out that it fires cannonballs, it's just, yeah, there's just, the logic of this is a bit odd. Of course we make the ammo. What time is it? Nearly time for bed. Oh, do I need to buy a mold though? Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I shouldn't start another quest because it's getting late. But... oh, hi Kitty. Yeah, I did Observatory Quest and multi-cannon. Sorry, cannon. What can I do that's short in the meantime? Have any of my activities cooled down? Has Meg back? How do I tell? Meg. Yeah. So I need to go back and talk to Meg. So yeah, I feel like the minigame interface is good. It's interesting. Sorry, I say it's like, obviously there are some flaws with it, but like the fact that it even exists is great. Yeah, all you guys are like, Megtown, Megtown, Megtown. What do you think Port Sarim is?
Nothing went wrong. I didn't fall over my feet. Not that I do that much. And no one threw rocks at me or anything like that. I even found some amazing treasure. Here, you deserve a big share. I couldn't have done it without you.
Thanks, Meg.
Hi, it's so cool to... Well... So, okay, well...
I'm going to try and think. I'll get the guide out, but I'll try and guess the correct answer before I get the guide out.
I don't suppose you have any advice, do you?
None of those seem like spectacular advice, if I'm honest. I would have thought the correct advice would be safe spot them. That would be the. Isn't this called Meg's Tasks? What's this called? Or is it called Meg's Adventures or something? Oh, Meg's Question. Wait, what was the question? Chickens. No, not that one. The correct answer is draw a line in front of their beaks to hypnotise them. You can tell Mod Malta made this, can't you?
Is that right? No, I'm sure
What?
it's right. I've discovered an ancient temple filled with the undead.
Also, none of those seem... I guess, yeah, okay, I guess, yes. Bring a group.
Oh, okay. I think I can handle. I may have upset a few people.
Oops. Set a trap. What?
Thanks for the advice. You're the best.
I'm not convinced by these answers. No, they. I mean, I guess it's probably supposed to be kind of random, and you're supposed to be giving her just kind of random advice. I imagine that's probably, but also Malta's just a massive troll, so he might also have just been intentionally trolling everybody. That would be completely in his wheelhouse. Right, what else can I do? Let's do something short. I go to a dungeoneering floor. Someone wanted me to do something. Don't think so. I don't understand, and I couldn't find what these icons mean. It seems like there might be quite a lot of information embedded in them, but I don't actually know what that information is. It's to do with the spotlight. You don't always have access to the best possible answers. Yes, I didn't last time. I had to give her a good answer instead of an excellent answer. How many days until the spotlight? Oh, right, weird. Let's clear all this junk out of my bank. Quest tab. What's that? Divine Salmon Bubble. Just random things. Wait, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to go do a dungeoneering floor. That seems like a thing that I should do. I keep wearing my Desert Pantheon aura, but I haven't actually used it. I used it once when I did some crafting, and that was it. I've got something else in here, the Premier artifact, I think, somewhere. There's a Premier artifact. And I'm like, I feel like there's that. Yeah, and I should probably use that, but I don't know. I don't. It's not really my kind of thing. One day I'll explore all this stuff and figure out what it is. I mean, I know what a lot of it is because I was around when they implemented it, but like from a player point of view, I'm like, it's a bit overwhelming getting all these. I mean, these are essentially elaborate lamps. Most of them, not all of them, but like a lot of them. Can those go in the currency pouch? I think they can, can't they? Is there anything else in here that can go in the currency pouch? Someone told me about something. Was it that one? Animal crystal. Oh, that goes in the currency pouch. Someone told me the animal crystal could go in the currency pouch. Apparently they were lying. Right, yeah, where's my actual ring gone? There it is. You know what Demonheim should have? It should have a lodestone. Oh, no, yeah, I know memory strands can go in the thing, but if I put them in the currency pouch, can't I then not use them to teleport? Yeah, I know you need the ring anyway, but like you don't need the ring. Like we could just remove that. I think they implemented it originally because it was the only way they could get the grouping system to work, but I don't think we need it anymore. Like originally quite a lot of dungeoneering focused on the ring. I'm not going to speedrun, but I'll try not to dawdle. If I see any on level, I've got the what am I trying to say? I'm talking gibberish. I've got the Memorial to Guthix dungeoneering engram set. Sorry, I'm struggling with words. So If I see a divination wisp, I'll do it. Above my level, isn't it? Oh no, hang on. Oh, I've got 80 mining because of my dungeoneering bonus. You can't. So I have the Horde Stalker outfit, and you can't disable it, which is interesting. I've seen some requests from people, high-level PVMers, want to be able to disable like their Gricko and stuff, which is interesting because like they can't demo combat. They can't demo low-level combat. Oh, is that that was a saga? Cool. They can't demo low-level combat properly because they can't turn off their high-level abilities. And I feel kind of similarly about like a lot of the elite skilling outfit and similar sort of bonuses are you can't turn them off. Just owning the thing. Owning the thing gives you the bonus. You could argue from a game design point of view there's no reason to turn it off, like it just is a thing that you can do. But I don't know. I was talking to another mod, and he said he'd restarted his account. Like he played a lot on his tube, and then he made another tube so that he wouldn't have all the bonuses that we get. Like when we get all the cosmetic unlocks, but because cosmetic unlocks includes the elite skilling outfits for some reason, we get the elite skilling outfits for free, which obviously has quite an impact on... I mean, they're not massively powerful, right? But to the extent that they are powerful, it has an impact on the balance of the game. And I am so good at dungeoneering, I'm going to stop and sell this stuff, because that is just the kind of guy I am. This is an odd... It's a very odd dungeon layout. Wait, did I miss the... Yeah, let's do some trees. Yeah, well, so in the case where the fishing outfit, you have to actually be wearing the outfit, right? So you can just not wear the outfit. The dungeoneering one, because of the nature of dungeoneering, works even when you don't have the outfit on. So like if you don't want to fish, like I've not been fishing with the fishing outfit on, because that's not the experience I'm trying to have, right? The whole point is I'm trying to experience RuneScape, and I don't think having the elite fishing outfit is really a very realistic, like, RuneScape experience. Why am I burying bones? Why am I doing that? That's not good use of my time. Yeah, I need Slayer points, don't I? I need Slayer points to put my Bone Crusher on my tool belt, but I can't get Slayer points because I've got a Shade task. And to complete the Shade task, I need to get some Morton, which apparently requires me to do some quests. So that's going to be a while. I shouldn't be woodcutting this, should I? This is a waste of time, isn't it? I'm not very good. I really like dungeoneering. I'm not sure it's a solvable problem. I can't see how you would obviously solve it. But I don't like that it's very unclear what is and isn't worth doing in dungeoneering. Some skilling activities are worth doing, and some aren't worth doing, and there's not really any clear pattern to it. Is Argonite the tier 70? It's tier 7, which is 60, right? So I should actually smith that. I should make a breastplate out of that. I need to do that before I leave, because I forgot last time. Shades on the anchor floor. Yeah, shades are they are in the stronghold of security, but the Slayer task was incredibly specific that I should under no circumstances do the shades in the stronghold of security. It was like, they are there, you should absolutely not do that. Do not do it. Don't. just don't. So, following the advice I was given. I was thinking about how you would redesign dungeoneering. Cratonite, plate legs. Like how to redesign dungeoneering to do the smithing part. What I came up with was... Sorry, so this is I'm not pitching this as a redesign for Demonheim, but if we were thinking about like trying to do what Demonheim did again, so that not like changing Demonheim, but like designing a new version of dungeoneering, would be to make basically so you rather than losing all of your gear. So like the way the tool belt works in dungeoneering strikes me as actually a slightly better model. I mean, binds kind of work like that, right? But binds are really like... Binds encourage an attitude that only certain slots matter. Which I think is kind of a shame, because that's obviously like only certain slots matter. That's just kind of the default for this kind of content. And it's a shame that binds encourage that. Oh, oops. Let's just grab those bones. Have I tried out gate stones? Do you mean additional crafted gate stones? In which case, no. I mean, I know how to use this gate stone in order to get back to where I was. Oh. Oh, okay. Which key have I got? Yeah, red. Hey, Harlak. Hey, buddy. Right, I was going to go... Oh, well, hang on. Before I do him then... Oh, God, what have I done with my graph? I need to go and make a chess piece. Let's go do that. Wait, where's the smuggler? I gone the wrong way. No, this is right. No, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Only game I bound cosmic runes, so I can make them. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I have a blast box bound at the moment, which I guess is kind of pointless. Do you only need one cosmic rune to bind cosmic runes? I don't remember how binding runes work. I had mind runes bound when I started doing this, but a bit confused now. None of this is worth doing, is it? Like, this is the thing. Like, the way I like doing dungeoneering is like, well, I've got all this stuff in my inventory, so I guess I will, you know, craft all of it and get rid of it, and that'll be fun, you know. And then like, can I actually make cosmic runes? Yeah, I can. So can I? Is it just if you bind any amount? Oh, you bind the amount that you carry. Okay, so if I bind those 64. So first I have to get rid of my blast box, I assume? Wait, where is my blast box? Okay, apparently I don't have a blast box bound. Bind. Oh no, yeah I do. I have a bound ammo. Oh yeah, because my blast box. Wait, is it separate from your other bond? Your other binds? Is that how it works? Okay, so I have cosmic runes bound, and then I need to make. It's 5 for a breastplate, isn't it? I did want to change plate body to breastplate or cuirass, but you remember I said I was trying not to alienate people with the mining and smithing rework, because I felt like we were making like so many changes to the core of RuneScape that we shouldn't push it. But oh my god, plate body annoys me so much. One of the reasons people do the task set: medium gives 4 free cosmic and law runes and starting dungeons. Right, yeah. Oh yeah, I started on the task set. Argonite plate body. There we go. Bind. Bind setup. Oh, it auto-equipped it for me. Oh wait, did I already have an Argonite chain body? Oh, alright, it's fine, it's still better. I could probably make an Argonite helm out of all this. Probably, if I smith the rest of this. Is this good? Again, I can never work out whether this is good use of time, but I feel like taking the time to just upgrade my gear is probably useful. Feels like it should be. If it's not, that feels like a serious problem. Like at least to set up. Like it's not time. It's not worth taking the time to make something just for this dungeon. It'd be worth making the time to upgrade something permanently. Oh yeah, so that's what I was thinking about. Like if we were redoing a new version of Dungeoneering. So the way to handle crafting, I was thinking, was so incorporate the bind aspect, but like say say all items require a rare drop. I don't know whether that is a specific drop for the item, like an Argonite breastplate requires a specific drop, or this drop allows you to craft any item of your choice, whatever. And then, so then once you've got that rare drop, now it's worth the bother of gathering resources in the dungeon. So you find, like on floor 1, you find a longsword mold, whatever, a Novite longsword mold. And now that you have that Novite longsword mold, well, okay, it's worth gathering Novite so that I can put it in the longsword, you know, and now I can make one Novite longsword which consumes the mold, and I have a Novite longsword. Mold's not a good example in RuneScape for that reason, but you know what I mean. It's a unique component, and so now I can upgrade to Novite. That feels like it would incorporate. So rather, because the original vision of Dungeoneering was that gathering an artisan would be valuable on every single floor. And in practice, that's simply the wrong, I think, I would say, the wrong balance of skilling to combat. Like, it's not fun to have to remake your weapon on every single floor, because Bind's got more aggressive, right? Like, I'm only 59 Dungeoneering, and I think on launch, that gave me hardly any... Wouldn't I still be on 1 bind on the original balancing? I think. And then they updated it over time gradually, so you got more binds. I think that's true. Oh, I didn't drop my gatestone at the boss. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm doing this waste of time because I actually do want to level fletching, and I imagine this probably isn't very good use of time though. It's very hard to tell though. Oh, I still don't have the achievement for attacking the boss with a Blood Rager. I've tried several times to get that achievement. I'll try it again now. Gatestones are a good example of good complexity. It's not mandatory, it changes the way you think. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I would agree with it being like... The fact that I didn't even notice the feature existed is weirdly a positive, because it means it was in no way, like, confusing the game for me, you know? Like, it can't be adding complexity to the game if I don't even know it exists. So, like, there being a feature that I can engage with as and when I choose to is really cool. Or I could probably just level Dungeoneering all the way to 120 without even knowing it exists. At some point someone would hopefully tell me, but, you know. Demon Home skilling is good XP if you're Iron Manning. I mean, yeah, I am effectively Iron Manning, right? I guess I do need to, at some point, start experimenting with... I thought I might try, like, buying Orichalcum, smithing it, and then selling it again. Because I haven't really done that kind of massive buying and selling flow. That feels like... that. Even though I prefer to... not Iron Man, but I prefer to DIY, I feel like that's a RuneScape experience which is so iconic that I don't really have, because obviously in Dev we don't trade anything on the Grand Exchange if we're not specifically testing the Grand Exchange, which we basically never are, because the Grand Exchange never changes. So I have used the Grand Exchange, but I've never used the Grand Exchange like to mass buy and sell, you know, like as part of a skilling grind, which feels to me quite an iconic, important part of the game. Right, so what do I need? I need another Argonite. I need another 2 Argonite, because I'm going to make a helmet. And I need to make a Blood Rager pouch. And then I'll see if I can do it correctly this time. Oh, I completed my yak track. Hey. Wait, hang on. If I claim the reward inside Dungeoneering, presumably it stops me from doing that. Presumably, maybe not. Well, I mean, I tested, and it didn't stop me from drinking a. It didn't stop me from drinking a Dungeoneering hole cocktail when my heat was already full, and then prevent me from actually using it. That was annoying. I've noted that down. What we're making? Daggers. Yeah, that's fine. It's weird doing old smithing. Old smithing's not very good, is it? I don't know. I do worry about new smithing, but I think it is in a better state. Bind. Bind. Don't need you anymore, friend. Or you. Or you. There we go. Oh, look at looking pimp. Yeah. Right, let's go fight that boss that I've lost now. I've got the map upside down, that's why I'm so confused. Right. Yeah, it would be very tedious to do new smithing and dungeoneering, I totally agree. But then that's the thing, right? Like if you imagine a model where crafting is rare, like you make one. I mean, I guess I would still tier it personally because I like tiering, but like, if you imagine if you had to smith yourself a full set of gear once per tier, and then when you upgrade out of it, oh, hang on, I haven't used the pouch. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Oh, I got it. Look at that. They're not usually that easy. Jack, you need to go to work. It is midnight. No, but the bosses aren't usually that. Most of the ones I fought haven't been that trivial. Like Astia Frostweb, I actually had to pray against. Like, yeah. No, I get why you want the dungeoneering to be rebalanced, but like most of my experiences in dungeoneering haven't been that trivial. I can't remember his name now. The Behemoth. The plated Behemoth couldn't hurt me, but took a very long time to kill. Astia Frostweb, I would have kicked my ass if I hadn't played Magic. Oh, is it randomly selected? Yeah, Bulwark Beast. That's the one. Yeah, they were so pleased with the score screen. Like RuneScape had never quite done anything like this before, with like a dynamic, like exciting score screen. I'm assuming almost everybody clicks skip all the time. Which is a shame because they put a lot of time into it, but it is what it is. Right. Oh, what have I done? Oh, wait, I didn't click. What? I'm confused. How do I leave? Wait, how do I leave? Isn't there a door you can click on to leave? Oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to do another one because I think it's bedtime. There's a fine line between two difficult conflicts. Yes, I agree. Yes, when it's trivial, where I just like laugh because I killed the boss so quickly that I didn't even really understand that it existed, then yes, I don't think there's any controversy there on like the fine line between challenging and frustrating. Like, yeah, it's fine. Is there anything else I can quickly do? It's nearly bedtime, really. What do I lack for the task set? Oh, in the dungeoneering tasks. So you know, I was asking about the activity tracker earlier. So you can't track achievements on the activity tracker, as far as I couldn't figure out how to do it. Easy Demonheim. I need to group basically. I need to group and I need to reset. So that's going to take. So I wasn't planning to reset until I hit my cap, but I'm now up to like 59. So, and I'm only on like floor 14 or 15 or something, so I didn't actually notice. So it's going to take me a while before I cap and have to reset. Isn't there a pin next to the name, is there? Oh yeah, no, but I don't want to pin that. I want to pin Easy Demonheim. If you see what I mean. I want to be able to just quickly get back to my, because if I'm working through a task list, I want to be able to work through all the tasks. I guess because that's not an achievement, it's a category of achievement, so you can't pin it. Is that correct? I think so. Yeah, so yeah, I was pressing it. Yeah, someone taught me to press F3 to get into the quest journal, so I did the same thing just then to open the achievements tab. My feeling is that achievements would make more sense in adventures than in Hero. It feels a bit strange in Hero because it's functionally it's very similar to almost all of the lists. Like adventures is like the things that I can do, and I feel like it feels like it belongs in that category. Like Hero is like where I like. I mean, I get why you would separate them, and it makes logical sense to separate them. But at a thematic level, customizations are kind of part of Hero, right? Like, it's like me, what I look like, what I can do, what I'm carrying. And then the third one is what activities are available for me to participate in, and achievements feel belongs there. But yeah, it doesn't super matter. Like you get used to it fairly quickly. I would say like it's easy to criticize RuneScape's interface, right? There are no MMOs that do this well. None of them. Well, sorry, I haven't played every single MMO, but I have played. I haven't played very much Final Fantasy XIV, but I've played a lot of different MMOs. All of them struggle with this exact problem of like there are like 20 top level interfaces, all of which players need to reference all the time, and none of them are achievement. Like so, in Guild Wars 2, your equipment screen and your skills screen are both like tab descendants of one main screen. So if I want to change my gear around, and the last thing I was looking at was my spec, I have to go to my spec, then I have to go back up one, and then back down one again. It's super confusing. Like I can't just open my inventory. Sorry, I can open my backpack, but I can't open my worn inventory. It doesn't have any equivalent of like RuneScape just has the worn inventory tab. Unless I'm missing something in their interface and I can't find it. Guild Wars 2 has no equivalent of the worn inventory tab. And you do actually need to change your gear around sometimes because of the way the mechanics work. So, like weapons work quite differently in Guild Wars 2. So you're like, I don't want a short bow for this. I want a hammer or whatever. You have to switch your gear around, and then getting into your worn inventory is really, really fiddly. It's very strange. How much worldly content have I tried before the upcoming rework? I haven't at all, and I'm a bit sad about it. My rule is I'm not allowed to add more nechrite rocks. I'm not allowed to add more nechrite rocks until I have got to 80 smithing. That's my rule. Anyway, right, what we're doing. Yeah, so I need to reset to do that one, and I need to reset to do that one. Oh no, I guess I could just manually do floor 1, right? I can choose to do floor 1. But oh, actually, I'll go do the wilderness one. Is that over here? Where it is? I've never actually walked out onto the wilderness. Oh, is it down here? From Demonheim out onto the wilderness. I'll go do I think I've done all the sagas. Nadir was added later, wasn't it? It wasn't. There were 3 sagas on launch, and then they added Nadir later. Is that correct? Or was Nadir one of the launch sagas? Oh, do I need to hand it in? Yeah. So I may not have played Nadir. I can't remember. I have read Nadir multiple times, but I may not have ever actually played through it. But I'm pretty sure I played the launch sagas at the time, or when they were in development. Isn't Scaldry? No, there he is. Anybody? No, not just yet. be surprised if it was Runescape. I think so. I wasn't involved in its development, but I think it was. Oh, what's his mod name? I can't remember. He's still with us. He's a graphics programmer now. He made the Pit. Oh, I guess I can just look up the credits, right? What's his mod name? Dear. It's I don't know to what extent. I know Osborne design reviewed it. I don't know. His mod name is Giragastfa. That figures. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. Giragastfa. I don't know to what extent Osborne wrote it or reviewed it. Like Osborne also reviewed Salt in the Wound, right? And he was publicly talking about like, oh, he's a bit embarrassed about the fact that he reviewed. So I know he reviewed Nadir. I don't think he wrote any of it. I think Giragast wrote it all. Oh, is the Giragast, is the V like a typo or something? Is that what that is? Maybe that's a. Is it just Giragast? Is a Pit credited? No, it doesn't seem to be. Because I design reviewed the Pit. That was his first update, and yeah, he's really good. Yeah, he's still at Jagex. He's a is it a platform engineer? I don't know what his job title is, but he's a engine programmer who works on graphics. So like NXT is his stuff. I don't understand who does what within that team, but he was one of the instrumental programmers in NXT. Hey, buddy. Let's go into the wilderness. Yeah. What else can I do? Senior systems engineer, yeah. Was I about to tell you a story about Ritual of the Marshrat and Nadir? No, it was just that. Yeah, sorry, because someone was saying that you thought it was possibly one of the abandoned Ritual of the Marshrat plots. As far as I know, it came entirely from Giragast. Like he just made it up himself, as far as I know. That may be wrong. He may have been working from notes that Osborne left him, or like parts of the like documented but not in-game parts of the original Demonheim. Because I'm sure they wrote lots of backstory documentation for Demonheim when they were developing it. That was just before I arrived, so I wasn't involved in that. Like I joined the company like the week Dungeoneering launched, and Osborne and Rowley I think wrote the lore. I think that's right. Wrote all the Demonheim lore. And I'm sure, I mean, because it's so complicated, I'm sure they had, I've never read it, I'm sure they had some sort of lore bible that they were working from. So it's possible that Nadir came from that lore bible. No, but it ended up documented in game. Like, we don't, like, all that documentation kind of went missing. Like, I don't, like, as far as I know, there isn't secret. Like, so because I was on the Dungeoneering team when I launched, my my mentor was Modtrick, and so I became Dungeoneering had really interesting office politics when I arrived. So I got launched straight into like intense office politics on my first day, and what they told me was. The smuggler was supposed to be Guthix, and the power at the bottom of Demonheim was supposed to be Zamorak, and that was just assumed. Did I ever manage to look after the lore over the lore archive box that Ed mentioned? No, I haven't been in the office very much. Wasn't Modtrick the one that quit due to Salt in the Wound's reception? I mean, without that, he was the developer who made Salt in the Wound. It was the internal situation is slightly more complicated than that, and I won't comment on it. But yeah, he was that dev, yes. I should go and check on my Anachronia resources now. I should probably go to bed because it's late. So Deathless part implies the malevolent voices was out. Yes, that was my retcon, basically. I don't. So no, actually, I think I'm giving myself too much credit there. I didn't mean to imply that Demonheim led to Zautak. The way I thought of the lore was that Demonheim led to Zamorak, but given that Zamorak had returned anyway at the Battle of Lumbridge, it was no longer relevant, and so in the Infernals left, was how I saw it, and created a different plan to summon Zautak at the Till Death. What did the pit? It was a resource dungeon, wasn't it? The pits in Till Death Do Us Part were resource dungeons. Oh no, so yes, I guess they were still Demonheim. Yes, of course. Sorry, no, I'm misremembering. Yeah, okay. So yes, it must have at that point been retcon to Zautak. Yeah, sorry, I'm misremembering. But I wasn't. I don't remember consciously trying to fix Demonheim lore, but maybe I was and I've just forgotten about it. Stalkers are Zamarakian by religion and not Chthonians. So my current assumption is that Stalkers are Chthonian, but they are also still Zamarakian. That's how I think of them. They are Zamarakian via Bilrak. They serve Bilrak, and Bilrak serves Zamorak. So I mean, that's not canon in game, but that's how I think of. Like, that seems to explain everything. Let's build a storehouse. Nice. Right, and then with that, I should probably go to bed. How am I doing on my assignment? It's about right still, isn't it? What's the next upgrade? Is it sleeping quarters to get more people? I don't care about XP right now because I'm not actually doing Anachronia at all. I'm just doing long-term upgrades. So yeah, I guess it's sleeping quarters. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Yeah, I'll just leave them all accumulating, I think that's fine. Alright, I should leave it there. Alright, good night everybody, thanks for watching.